Hamzah Shafia binti Muhammad Asli, and my metric number is 295365. So in this video, I will tell you about what is inflation. So, what is inflation? Inflation refers to the sustained increase in the general level of prices for goods and services in an economy over a period of time. Inflation is characterized as a rise in general price level. This means that, on average, the price of goods and services are rising, and the purchasing power of money is decreasing. Stagflation occurs when both inflation and unemployment rates increase. Inflation is typically measured using various price indexes, such as the Consumer Price Index (CPI) or the Producer Price Index (PPI). CPIs measure the prices of a market basket of consumers, goods, and services. These indexes track the changes in the prices of a basket of goods and services commonly consumed by households or produced by businesses. So, to find the Consumer Price Index, we need to divide the current year total expenditure by base year total expenditure and then time with 100. To measure the inflation rate, CPI current year minus CPI base year, then divide by CPI base year, then times with 100. Your answer must be in percentage because we want to calculate the rate.
There are three mainly known causes of inflation, which are cost-push inflation, demand pull inflation, and built-in inflation. It is also to note that the two main roles of inflation are the demand and supply. First of all, the cost-push inflation. Cost-push inflation happens because of the increase in production costs. For instance, the increase in wage is either because of a pay raise or an increase in the number of workers, or basically because of increased prices in the inputs of production. Due to the price increase, the supply dropped because it is harder for the production to produce at the same level as before with the new cost. Thus, it is found that the supply curve will move to the left as a result of its decrease and increasing the price of the overall product as shown in the diagram. The second inflation would be demand pull inflation. The main reason for this inflation is the increase in the demand. In this case, the supply curve won't move while the demand curve will. As the demand curve moves to the right, it will cause a new equilibrium price of a product. However, as the demand for a product increases, the number of supplies would decrease. Thus, when fewer product is available, consumers will pay more to obtain them and resulting in a price increase. The last one would be the built-in inflation. This inflation occurs when people expect the inflation to continue in the future. As the price of different products increases, consumers will want more money to be able to purchase them, and thus resulting in an increase in wages. This is similar to the first cause of inflation, where whenever wages increase, the higher the production cost would be, and eventually the higher the price of the product.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Shafiq Ikhwan Besahimi and my metric number is 295418. So today I will talk about the static analysis based on Sri Lanka and Malaysia. So definition of statistic analysis is the context of analyzing inflation refer to examination of historical data and economic indicator to understand the pattern and driver of inflation in Malaysia and Sri Lanka. So next we go to importance of static analysis. Static analysis provide valuable insight into historical inflation data, enabling informed decision making, policy formulation, and forecasting for effective management of inflation. So now we go through to the key inflation indicator, which is consumer price index, exchange rate, producer price index, inflation expectation, commodity price, and core inflation measure. So next we go to the inflation both country, which is Sri Lanka and Malaysia. So like you guys can see, the data see you the year of 2018 until 2021. So the conclusion is based on the analysis, it is crucial to monitor the policy, fiscal measure, and supply and demand dynamic.
Inflasi Malaysia pada bulan Ogos 2022 meningkat sebanyak 4.7% berbanding 4.4% pada Julai lalu. Inflasi makanan dan minuman bukan alkohol meningkat pada 7.2% berbanding 6.9% pada bulan Julai lalu. Ia sekaligus menjadi penyumbang utama kepada peningkatan inflasi keseluruhan pada bulan Ogos.
I think the inflation very effective to me because all the cost of the raw material is high. So I had to increase the food price. I want to give low sale price to students, but I cannot do so because of the inflation.
What do you think about this article? From my perception as a student who got money from parents and PPN, I feel burdened with this inflation because the price is going up and my purchasing power is going low, so I need to budget my expenses.
Sri Lanka case of economic crisis. It all started in April 2019 with the Easter bombing, a terrorist act that caused Sri Lanka tourist sector worth 4.4 billion to suffer. The tourism sector provides support up to 12 until 30% of the country's GDP. With no tourism income, there could be a decline in foreign exchange earnings, which could affect a country's ability to pay for imports and service its external debt. Reason number 2, bad political decision. The government under the lead of Gotabaya Rajapaksa, he promised to cut value-added tax from 15% to 7.5%. The fundamental explanation for the tax decrease was that consumers would spend more if they paid less tax. Unfortunately, 3 months after the tax cut, the pandemic COVID-19 hit. With the lockdowns, people are unable to go out and consume things. The country's debt in 2019 was 94% of GDP. In 2 years, it had gone up to 119% of GDP. This shows that country's debt is growing at a faster rate than its economic output. Second bad politic decision, Rajapaksa banned synthetic fertilizer and pesticide imports practically overnight, forcing Sri Lanka's millions of farmers to go organic. The government thought by banning this fertilizer chemical they could save up to $400 million. In reality, organic is less efficient than synthetic fertilizer. Rice output fell by 20% in the 6 months after the chemical ban. The government then needs to spend $450 million on rice import. The country's limited supply of rice along with the growing demand for imported rice causes the price of rice to increase. The price of rice per kilogram has gone up to 566 Sri Lanka rupee in 2020 compared to only 80 Sri Lanka rupee in 2019. All this event that has happened caused Sri Lanka to face rapid increasing inflation rate. Up until May 2023, Sri Lanka's inflation rate is 25.2%.
As we conclude our journey through the world of inflation in Malaysia, we reflect on the complex web of factors that contribute to its rise and its impact on the country's economy. In this documentary, we explore the theory behind inflation, look at real-life case studies, and examine the impact it has on the lives of Malaysians. From the crowded markets to the bustling shopping malls, the fingerprints of inflation can be seen and felt in the daily lives of Malaysians. It affects the prices of goods and services and challenges the purchasing power of individuals and families alike. Experts and economists study and analyze inflation and propose strategies and measures to mitigate its effects. When policymakers understand the causes and effects of inflation, they can make informed decisions to stabilize the economy and protect people's welfare. As we soar over the breathtaking landscapes of Malaysia, let us remember that while inflation brings challenges, it also brings opportunities for growth and progress. By embracing change and adapting to the evolving economic landscape, Malaysia can weather these turbulent times and emerge stronger than ever. Thank you for joining us on this insightful journey through the world of inflation in Malaysia. May our understanding and collective efforts pave the way for a prosperous and resilient nation.